anaitwa waziri mwenda saba, waziri wa raha sauti muhimu katika kaunti nyingi. Jina lake ni mwito Heru Taraka, anatawala yote. Maisha yake.
When did you hear government lending money and collecting it back? And government. So that's why it flopped, because I think it's already a flop.
But they keep returning back whoever has that money to recover the money.
There is no way of recovering that money. Why? Because also you remember the unreturned account was what they said, 896 million or something like that.
Yes.
Was lent to people who don't exist. I mean, you should have predicted that was going to happen. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that was going to happen. The only way to prevent that, if you are genuine, if you really want them to promote small business,
Yes.
or to surrender that money to the bank, and because it's your money, you tell them rent it at 3%.
Percentage.
Okay? So 3%, the bank will probably put another 2%. For what is called the cost of operating that money. So you are basically renting at 5%.
Yes.
That is very affordable. The Kenyans now can multiply that money.
Yes.
So, but that's not what happened. It's the same thing also with the housing. Anyone who thinks this housing thing can succeed is somebody who doesn't understand any government, not just the government of Kenya.
Yes.
There is no government that can involve itself in civilian affairs, in a business. You see, the best people always to promote anything is individuals, individual businesses, people looking for profit. Okay, so wherever government takes a project, that project must fail because it doesn't have personal focus. So even if there's housing, you wait. It don't be a
You mean the housing?
Yeah, there's housing stuff.
Affordable housing?
It will be a monument of failure. Yeah, just wait you will see.
Where
the other day I was seeing in newspaper, I think it was yesterday, that somewhere in Ngara, some affordable housing people have already bought. The whole thing was being auctioned by the bank because where it was in Beirut, somebody borrowed their loan. So now you tell me there is nothing. If the government genuinely wants something to succeed, if it was this housing, they actually wanted to give people houses, poor people houses.
Yes.
What they could have done was to remove taxes on input to building materials.
Yes.
Whether it is cement, you remove all taxes on whatever goes into building a house. And then you allow the private sector
Yes.
to do the job. Then everybody will have a very affordable house,
Yes.
because you have driven down the prices. But the government cannot take that responsibility and succeed because it has never done. That is how the communists failed. I mean, what do you think communism failed? They failed because the government was doing things building and they can't. Okay? What do you think has eroded Tanzania with all the reasons? You know, Tanzania has more resources than Kenya.
Yeah.
But it's being eroded bank because of those socialistic policies, the social policies. They never work. Individuals in pursuit of personal interest, they deliver more efficiently than a government.
Wow, Kenya bado no beta bagi complain mono mantu jegi CRB listing mostly the youth. I mean thirikari ina promise yako baita gikura ya marandu kuma locally the economically. Is there any way thirikari omba ko yekeberia ntu kimanto na mbina bibara be list na bawo jukitia sura fandi bandu bago dirite no kwa kile the CRB.
You know, even the government to promote that, what they were going to pay for them because these people borrowed this money as individuals.
Yes.
So how are you going to remove them? Are you going to pay for them? When you borrow money, you enter into a private contract.
Yes.
That is the law between you and the lender.
Yes.
The only way the government will remove is if they come and pay for you. So then they set aside money I think these people, they have to stop taking Kenyans for fools, yeah, and make promises that they can actually achieve. Because you see, there is something called integrity. Okay? And the leadership is about having integrity. And the integrity means your word is your bond.
Yes.
In other words, we trust your word. So when the government says something, we ought to trust it. You understand?
Yes.
But you can't just talk. So what has happened here is they just say things that you know obviously this one.
Yes. Wow. Maybe tugechenjia kidogo Prof. Ugataga ndiguru ya rekinyete tha iji recently kwa ale maandamano ya Gen Z bakienda to raise their voice against the government which ba succeeded shut down the finance bill. But now again Gen Z bali bashokerete kaina system wenjero kuja kiri internet bakaraja akabagukanda riu thirikari kidogo maandamano bakaraja akathirikari bacethera baiwa okay but no gati bashokete kiri internet bakugeria bandu kung'ang'ana na thirikari ya Kenya Kwanza but again thirikari nayo kwambire gutumira mbinu cia gutumira force ya kwenda ku abduct. Do you think the government is succeed against these Gen Zs again?
First of all, I'm going to correct what you just said. What the Gen Zs were doing was not against the government. That was actually pro-government. But you know, when people are living in another century, like you are living in the 19th century, this is 21st.
Yes.
It's not even in 20th. Then it's easy to think it was against. When young people, Pakeya, Bagwera, Giro, Etanyo, is not delivering.
Yes.
Non to future belong to us. It doesn't belong to you. I mean, you and I, and especially myself, I've already lived my life properly.
Yes.
Whether it was messed, that is now irrelevant.
Yes.
Now, but the future belongs to these people and their children. And they tell us, my generation, that what you are doing is not good in governance. You don't have integrity in the management of public affairs because you are stealing from us. Okay? You are not transparent in the transactions you are making on our behalf. You are not accountable either because when we tell you, you are not changing. Okay? And these are clever people. They look at the constitution. You look, for example, the principles of financial management as in Article 201. It is very clear that if the government is going to make a decision, it can affect anything, either, you know, they are devised, for example, by that article, that any decision you make with the financial implications, you have to make sure it's not abandoning future generations. Now, when they come and tell you you are abandoning us and the future generation, and that they are not against you, they are actually for you because they want you to change that. So now the government, in its wisdom, didn't see that. It thought that these people are against us, and just like you put it.
Yes.
Now, what the one knew by creating a war condition which wasn't there. Because there was no war there initially. Because there was no war. These young people were innocently trying to correct, which is now a responsible father of the nation. Should have seen that as an attempt to put things right and then put things right. Okay? So instead, they unleashed the violence as it was used to be in the 1970s and 80s. Now, these fellows went underground. They have come up in the cyberspace. Because cyberspace, now they don't expect you to follow them there. They removed the protesters from the street. Because in the street, we have aura. Because you can see them there. Cyberspace. Now in the first phase, you know about the abduction. You know what you are doing now? You are going to force them now to take arms. Okay? Because you see the evolution of resistance. And that is why I don't know who is advising this government. You need to be extremely careful. The Mau Mau War did not start in 1950. It started in 1921 when Ariduku didn't organize the first demonstration. Bawatwa. And then they killed the women in Nairobi Central Police Station. They killed about 20 people.
Yes.
That is when the people started thinking that Antobato Tomego did on in the peaceful means. Because the language of peace, but don't me understand. Then Antobato Godoania other methods now. Okay, that time there was no cyberspace. Maybe they could have now went to cyber. But when you block these avenues, the best way always yakundiro na dissent ni kuaddress the dissent ukaoria tre antobare ni mbipi utuma vedra vaina fire nende bagwira bagwira ka address. They have already said they want good governance. What does that mean? That means if it is public service employment, it's done by the law. Okay? Yes. Means competence. Because that's what Article 73 of the Constitution says. Okay? It says that we will get you because of your integrity. Because you are competent in this particular area which we need services. Yes. They need proper use or rather effective use of public resources. That is what Article 232 demands. In fact, Article 10 also doesn't demand that. And Article 273 demands that. Okay? And Article 201 demands that. Now, they want, the children want, and to wastage. They want end to corruption. You see, corruption is theft by servant. Yes. We just to baptize the corruption so that it looks better. But what it is actually theft by servant because you on to position to so they want an end to that. You address that, you have no problem with this young. You see, one generation. Nobody has ever won through one generation. I think you can. So you mean this is a generation war? This is a generation war. And you can't win. You can ask the Shah of Russia. He started a generation war. It took 70 years, but he was removed. Okay, he wasn't dismantled. You can ask the French king. Yes. He and the guy and the daughter who was stoned. She asked, why are the people demonstrating? She was stoned because they are saying they don't have bread. Then she said, why can't they eat cake? Because in the palace, with the public with the money from the public, there is a cake. If there is no bread, there is cake. So she can't understand why these people doesn't have the same thing. The thing is, this is actually a generational conflict. It's a conflict. This young generation sees things can be done better than they are being done. The best way is to listen. Na ugatega thirikari jaka itete hari ko bathikira na ija kerege ne buru ko na mantu ja jensi kerege tanontu wathikira CS da iwa interior kipchuma mukomen aluga basi tubwejere tabuga tuona atuti koherensa president ya thande na ete kutari na kyari gi kwauga muri shiria kundi ngambise ndeke thandu kone na kinyeno mbukira mathandu kune mapema future kalia tege mbere mmoja kwa kweli kwa upendo inakuwa Wanasaba TV tunasimulia matumaini safari yetu tuko pamoja kila sauti kila ndoto inang'ara kwenye kioo cha Wanasaba TV. This is Wanasaba TV.